Let's make lemonade. Okay. Let's go to work.
That's the signal! Go! Six! It's beautiful! Mother Nature just pissed her pants, dude!
Start your day with a jolt of energy and no-holds-barred opinions. This is The Rush, where Travis Justice and Ross Peterson bring you bold, unfiltered, and uncensored takes on sports, life, and everything in between. Buckle up and let's go.
Just got my chair yoga exercises done. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go on the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Good to have you here. If you're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com or on the TuneIn app or the Rush Radio app on your Android device, thank you so much. YouTubers are out and about this morning. It's good to have you watching us. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Subscribe, because we need the attention. Also, like this video and leave your comments in the comment section. You can also follow us on X, Facebook, and Instagram. Ross, were you watching me do my chair yoga?
I got it. I'm glad you brought that conversation. Okay? I'm going to totally put 100% of the blame on you for what happened to me. All right?
Oh, really?
Yeah. We had the conversation about not only chair yoga, but you asked, in one of my favorite moments ever, you asked Dr. Sullivan. We had Dr. Sullivan from DMOS on, and you asked him about the benefits of chair yoga.
Yeah.
And Tai Chi.
That was last Tuesday. And rarely does my wife listen to the show. And we went back in time. We were driving the car. I said, hey, let's listen to the show. And that was actually the point it came on. And my wife rarely laughs at me. She was actually laughing at that whole thing because of your reactions when it came to the chair yoga. So I was sitting here doing dips and little stretches like this. And I'm like, okay. And I think I started doing that because you're like, man, my right shoulder, I feel like I threw 7 innings last night. And I thought, chair yoga, man. Chair yoga is going to solve that for you.
When you just mimicked me, you did it in like a whiny little bitchy voice. Well,
because you were a whiny little bitch this morning.
No, when I say it like this, I go, my shoulder burns from last night. All the work I was doing. That's what I said. What did you hear?
I heard, oh, I'm a whiny little bitch, and then my shoulder hurts because I wake up in the morning and it's sad. Yeah, that's what I hear.
Yeah, that kind of sounds familiar. Now that you hit a tone there, that one. That's.
By the way, the older we get, the whinier we get. Just to let you know, the older we get, the whinier we do get.
So then, it was like driving home. Or it must have been Saturday when I got home or Sunday. Guess what starts popping up on my, I'm scrolling through and all of a sudden it's like, Tai Chi is a wonderful exercise.
No.
For people your age. You can get flexibility and strength. And
I'm inundated by it. But do you think your phone, as we were having this conversation, heard you talking about Tai Chi and now you're getting all this?
The phone does listen, but I think, I don't know what that is. I think that's more of like the algorithm. You and I are very similar with what we watch. You know what I mean? We send each other stuff from time to time. I imagine the Venn diagram just overlaps a little bit somewhere. But
yeah,
blame you for the Tai Chi ad showing up in my.
I bet you watched him too, didn't you? You're like, what?
I laughed. I laughed long enough that the algorithm now thinks that I'm interested in the Tai Chi.
But you're not quite at the age group. Usually it's for men 55 and older. You're not quite there yet.
Yeah. Not quite.
Ross, I'm going to use a pun here, but baseball, I think, literally hit a home run last night. I think baseball literally hit a home run last night with the All-Star game. A lot of times All-Star games can be boring. The American League is dominated as of late. The National League won last night in what was one of the most unique tiebreakers that we've seen in baseball. And the funny thing was, because you got on this morning, you're like, man, they had a home run derby to end it.
Yeah, I didn't watch it to the end.
It was like a shootout in hockey, right? And I didn't know this till this morning, is that this home run like shootout at the end of a tie has actually been implemented since 2022. They just have never had to do it. Another thing that I didn't know was that you have to designate your home run hitters like before the game. Because what happens is, and I didn't know this, like the starters, like all the guys who start the first inning, once they're done, they go shower and they leave. So if you were to look in the dugout at the, you're like, oh, they're going to bring out Aaron Judge. Aaron Judge has been gone for the last 3 years. Okay? Aaron Judge isn't there. He's not going to be hitting home runs because he's not there. And shame on me for thinking, well, these guys think this is such a cool experience. They're going to be in the dugout with their buddies. They're going to be hanging out because they don't get to.
Yeah, I kind of thought so too, honestly. Yeah.
What's that?
I kind of thought so too, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, you're like, hey, we're never going to hang out like this. We got 2 days. We're going to be in a dugout. We're teammates. No, as soon as you're done, I'm hitting the showers. I'm going to go get my Uber ride, and I'm going back to the airport because I got a game in 2 days. And I didn't know that. I'm like crazy. But the American League rallied. They were down 6-0. The rally started in the 7th. They got 4 runs in the 7th, 2 runs later on. So it was 6-6 after the game. And that's when they bring in the home run derby. And Kyle Schwarber was the hero for the National League. And if you're watching on YouTube, we're going to show these. But I can tell you that Schwarber was absolutely incredible. He had 3 swings, Ross. You get 3 swings. Okay? You get as many pitches as you want.
I did see this, by the way. And it's super cool.
Yeah, but you let me do this. Oh, there we go. So here we go. Let me start over. You'd think I'd figure this stuff out, but I'm not really that smart. No, that's not it. That's not it. Let me try again.
You can do that. People would rather watch the video than me.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, boy. Here we go.
So, I mean, look at that bomb to center field. Just
but more important than that, the video isn't going to show it. More important than look at the catcher's reaction there. If you can't see it, as soon as he hits it, the catcher points to the NL dugout and says, yeah, that's 2. Now you see the NL players. Everybody is out of the dugout. They're jacked about this. This meant this was, you could see 2 things. Number one, the players are having a blast. Look at this. He hits that 3rd bomb, and these guys, that's a lot of fun for them. The minute they realize they're winning, there's a celebration that's happening. That's what the video is showing right now. I just thought that I got to watch I watched the beginning of the game. I watched when Clayton Kershaw pitched, and they were talking with Clayton Kershaw. Did you by chance see that, Trav? They had him mic'd up,
right?
That was pretty cool. And that was when I turned off and started doing some other stuff. And I wish I would have. I do think something's happened. Okay. Text messages started flowing last night with the guys going, hey, you guys watch this MLB All-Star game? MLB still gets it. MLB is the best Major League or the best professional All-Star game is what one of my buddies said. Our friend Jeff Klein was the guy that wrote that in one of my text groups. Said, I'm not only watching this, I'm enjoying it. The best thing that baseball can do right now, Travis, is show up for the people that are showing up. The best, that's the only thing you can do is deliver for the people that are showing up. And last night, the All-Star game absolutely delivered. The home run derby, I didn't feel like it did. And quite frankly, after we talked about it, one of my text threads started with, hey, did you guys know that the home run derby was last night? I found out by listening to Ross this morning. And several of the guys were like, it was? That's how far that's fallen. You just got to deliver for the people that are showing up for you still. And watching that last night, the little bit that I saw of it, watching Clayton Kershaw was a nostalgic thing for me, Travis. It felt like a throwback to some other era where you knew the players and you got to hear from the players and there was real personality. He's in the middle of his windup and he's like, what should I throw, Smoltzy? What should I throw? And he goes, throw a cutter. And he's in his windup. He goes, I don't have a cutter. I don't throw a cutter. It was fun. It was fun.
I will say this. And I agree with your text message that of all the All-Star games, Major League Baseball gets it right because the All-Star game, in some way, in baseball, is kind of a sacred event. Now, have they drifted at times where you're like, the year they had the tie, that was a black eye for the All-Star game. There's been some, but when you look at the National Football League, which has just gotten rid of the Pro Bowl because it was stupid, you go to the NBA All-Star game, which is just no defense and nobody wants to watch that. There is still a sense of pride with the National League and the American League, and you see those guys celebrating. So I agree with what your text message says in that the Major League Baseball All-Star game is the best of the All-Star game.
And I want to also credit. That was our friend Jeff Klein that said that. I want to make sure I'm crediting that. But I agree with it.
Now, here, I will agree with part of what they said, and that is when Major League Baseball wants to get it right, it gets it right. Let's go back to the Field of Dreams, right? When they did the Field of Dreams production, the first one, they nailed it. They hit it out of the park. And then you had this last night, Ross, and that was the celebration of Hank Aaron. Look what they did on the field. They used the lights, and this was in Atlanta last night. So they recreated the 715th home run by Hank Aaron. They turned the lights down. They use all this fancy technology, which is absolutely incredible these days. And they bring that emotion.
Wow, this is so cool. I missed this.
Yes, they bring that emotion out. So you're reliving the moment. You're watching it on television. Wow. You're watching the same thing in the stadium, and it motivates you. It brings back the history with modern technology, and then they do this like AI thing on the field, and it's absolutely incredible. And then how they do the home run is they use basically fireworks, right? They're showing the pitch coming in, and then as soon as Hank Aaron swings the bat, they use a firework to launch the ball to where he would have been. I mean, that's super cool.
I did not see it. That was freaking awesome.
Yes. So when baseball wants to do it right, it does it right.
You know what that was like? Those hockey, what they can do on the ice in hockey arenas. That's what that reminded me of. And in a couple of years, we'll probably see that and go, "Oh man, that was chintzy." Remember when we were impressed with that? That's super cool, dude.
I mean, that's all projectors, when you have LED lights now, you have all these projectors, you have all these lasers, you have all this technology. Now it's not cheap to do that, but man, when you invest into a production and you're able to use that modern technology to bring back nostalgia, to relive history in a way that is obviously very motivating for the Atlanta fans, that's where you go. Because I saw everybody last night. Major League Baseball does it right. And I said, they do it right when they want to do it right. Because Major League Baseball has screwed up a lot. They've lost a lot of fans over the years, okay?
Yeah. And I would say, Travis, the things that they've done, the changes they've made have been great changes. I thought that I would care a lot more about these big changes that they made. Blocking the shift, forcing guys to throw to 3 batters, the pitch clock. I was like, they ruined the game. No, improved the game, waited too long to probably implement some of that stuff. Travis, what was the story supposed to? This is a great example of when baseball wants to get it right. They want to get it right a lot, but I do think there have been times when baseball didn't want to get it right. And I've said this, the implementation of instant replay in Major League Baseball was designed to fail. They set it up for failure. They wanted it to be such a disaster that people said, I think my gut tells me it was like the umpires or the umpires union or some sort of a union that said, we got to make a charade of this thing so that nobody likes it. Because the first couple of years of baseball instant replay the first decade of it were a disaster. It should have been absolutely thrown in the trash. And I think it was implemented that way on purpose. Because it was so easy to do it. What was supposed to be the story what was the story going into the All-Star game? What was supposed to be the story coming out of the All-Star game? The ABS system.
Yeah. which they used last night, and there were calls overturned.
And I haven't seen one story that was like, oh, disaster rollout of the ABS system. Well, they tested it, they had it working right, they knew it was going to be a success, and they did it. And let it be a story. Hey, we're going to do this thing in the All-Star game. And then, by the way, since it's not going to be an issue, you won't even notice it next year when we put it into the.
What I liked about the ABS system last night, and so you've got the Hank Aaron recreation, which was super cool. You got the home run derby that happened at to break the tie at the end of the game, which was super cool. What I liked about the ABS system last night, because it's only being used in minor league games. And I think last night was like the official rollout for next season. I think you're going to see ABS next year in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, agreed.
And so it reminded me a lot of the tennis system where, they show the shot and then they show where it bounces and they zoom right in. Last night, they showed the pitch, then they zoom in, and then Ross, they showed the measurement of how far it missed by the strike zone. So they zoomed in, you could see it was outside the strike zone, then they put up 1.25 inches, and you're like, wow, that's how technical this stuff is. Now, is it accurate up to 100%? No, but in crazy little things that I do in my business, we have a virtual design and construction department at MCL Construction, and our laser, where we go in and do laser scanning of buildings, is accurate up to 1/8 of an inch. I mean, that's pretty darn accurate.
You can almost hold your fingers at 1/8 of an inch.
Yes.
That's how tiny that is.
And we're talking 20,000 square foot buildings that you're scanning. So you're looking at this going, okay, that's kind of the same technology. And in a second, you're able to zoom in and go, okay, you missed by 1.25 inches. What's even crazier is, and it shows you how smart these hitters are, they know right away.
Yeah.
They've seen so many pitches that they'll tap that helmet and they'll be like, no, you need to look at that. Because they're pretty, even if it isn't overturned, it's really darn close to where they're like, okay.
Those guys have crazy good eyes. Remember the line about Ted Williams? There was a line about Ted Williams. There's a rookie catcher. Ted Williams comes to the plate. First pitch is right on the corner. Ball 1. Throws it back to the pitcher. Second pitch, right on the corner. Ball 2. He looks at the umpire. He goes, those pitches are really close. And the umpire says, Mr. Williams will tell you when those are strikes, sir.
If Ted's not swinging, it wasn't
a strike. I'm not worried about it.
But I mean, that's incredible. And I wouldn't want a computer to call every single pitch. I wouldn't. But I like the ABS system in the fact that, because you get the human element, and I think umpires are right. What, 95%?
They're pretty good. But I guess I'm confused by. When you say you don't want the umpire, the ABS system to call every pitch, you're basically saying you still want the umpire back there.
I want the umpire back there, and I don't want somebody in his ear going ball or strike. I want them to make the call, but I want.
I see. Okay.
Because you can because you're going to need a home plate umpire if there's a plate at home. I understand it.
Yeah.
But I don't want somebody he's in there behind the plate and just waiting for somebody to go strike, and then he goes strike.
Yeah, but Travis, I honestly think it's even easier than that. Again, it can be a little tiny buzzer in his back pocket. When a ball goes through that little gamma ray, he gets a little buzz on his butt and it's just a reminder. It's just an aid for him. Maybe they wouldn't want it. I'm with, and I wouldn't even push back on you. But my first thought was like, well, wait a minute. The ABS system is calling every pitch, but not notifying the umpire of said call. I think you're right about it. That's the way I like the way it's set up. And again, to your initial point, when baseball wants to get it right, that's the wrong way to say it, because they've tried and missed. They've tried to get things right and missed. But lately they've been getting things right. And for a long time, baseball was the joke. I mean, under oh my gosh, why am I blanking on the previous commissioner?
Bud Selig?
Bud Selig. From that tied All-Star game, it was a disaster. Travis, did you by chance go through all those rabbit holes I sent you yesterday?
Yeah, I did, and I went.
I don't want to destroy all of them, but did you read the one about the Atlanta Braves?
I did not.
Okay, that's okay.
I kind of picked the ones that I wanted to put on there today.
Totally fine. And I sent those to you because so we had a couple of days of just stuff to pick from here. So let me go real quick because I want to make sure I'm getting this right. There was this really fascinating article yesterday that I found about the Atlanta Braves. I've tried. The point of sports is not to win games. The point of professional sports, this is weird. We've talked about this before, though. We all know it. The point of professional sports, is for the owners to make money.
That's fair.
Now
you're not going to invest 1.4, or
nope.
the Rays are selling for $1.7 billion.
Yeah.
When you buy that, you expect to make money.
So, knowing that winning is a means to the end. The end is make money. That's what we have to do. Winning helps us. It cuts through and it helps us get there. But we don't have to take this linear path to our goal. We can take this path over here that gets us up there. And that's what the Atlanta Braves have done here recently. And we're going to get to the Braves because on the surface, you go, Braves. We talk about how successful the Braves have been. They've been one of the most successful franchises in professional sports over the last 40 years. This article is from MSN.com. They have a losing record, and everyone in baseball is trying to copy them. Atlanta. In the standings, the Braves have been one of the most disappointing teams in baseball this season. Once expected to contend for a championship, they instead find themselves 11 games under 500 at the time of this publishing. But in the eyes of MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred and other power players in the industry, the Braves aren't just a bunch of underperforming no-hopers. In fact, they're a shining example of the red of the sport. It goes on to talk about how the Braves moving to their new stadium and making that stadium a multi-use facility have made their record obsolete. They don't need to win anymore. They don't need to win. The team is making money. The owner is making money. And here's the scary thing. Other teams are noticing. Maybe in the grand scheme, maybe when we zoom out totally, this will be a good thing. But in the interim, buckle up. If professional teams are understanding, wait, our real value is in our land and in our real estate and in our facilities. The logo, we can sell the logo and we can do that stuff. We don't have to win, guys.
Well, it's the founder. Remember, Ray, you're not going to make $1 million off 15% or 5% of a 15-cent hamburger. You're not in the hamburger business. You're in the real estate business.
Exactly. Bruno has talked about this. Bruno has talked about this. Brilliant guy. Bruno's a brilliant guy. And a long time ago, Bruno was like, hey, man, I like owning these businesses is fun. Owning the land, owning the stuff.
And this is why you see Kansas City want to build a new stadium in downtown Kansas City, because you can start acquiring properties. You look at Los Angeles and the new stadium they put there. That wasn't just about a stadium. That was about a development around there where you could bring in restaurants, you could bring in hotels. You're basically a land developer at that point that has a stadium on it, which your team plays on. But what's going to make you the real money is what's all around that stadium. Now, winning doesn't hurt, right? Because at the end of the day, you still need to sell season tickets. You still need fans to support your team. You don't want an empty stadium. So winning does help, but I know what you mean to where you don't need to have a winning team each and every year. Look at the Cubs. And I know people hate the Ricketts family.
They knew it for the Wrigley family was the one that knew it.
Yes.
The Wrigley family was the one that had this thing nailed. We can make money. We'll have to put him. We're gonna have Rob Dernier in center field.
But then the Ricketts family takes it to a completely different level with what they've done around the stadium, right? I mean, they're like, okay, we need to develop around here. We need to own around here. And I know it makes some people mad, but it makes sense.
30 miles north. Jamie Pollard. What have we always said about what? You can hate Jamie Pollard because you're a Hawkeye fan. You can be envious of him because of what he's done with the Cyclone. Everybody thinks Jamie Pollard's a smart guy, right?
I hope so.
I would, if I ran into somebody that's like, I think that guy's kind of an idiot. I'd be like, oh, well, that's too bad. Jamie Pollard's a smart guy. What are they doing? They're developing the land.
And they had a bunch of it. I mean, rarely in a college setting do you have that much land to work with. And you go and you start watching these professional models going, Cytown. We're going to create Cytown.
So the quote from Rob Manfred at last week was, everybody. He said this to Manfred said at a Braves investor event last month. Everybody looks at this model, frankly, with envy. Truist Park, the Braves' 8-year-old stadium in suburban Cobb County, will host the All-Star game for the first time on Tuesday. The event will serve as the ultimate showcase not only for the ballpark, built for 2.25 million square feet of apartments, offices, hotels, restaurants, and entertainment. It's kind of hard as a sports fan to hear. I don't know why. When I read it, there was this hurdle for me to get over mentally, of like, oh, they're saying the quiet part out loud. They're saying the quiet part out loud. They don't need to win. They don't need to win
because unless you're the Yankees, unless you're the Red Sox, Ross, if you're not winning, you're not making money. I mean, look at the expenses that it takes to run a team of that caliber.
But I feel like that's what this article is saying here, is that they are laying down the groundwork to show all of these other teams you don't have to win. What you have to have is a revenue generating venue. You got to have an Iowa Events Center. And if you can do that and you can draw acts in and you can keep things busy all the time here, the baseball, you're going to get 20,000 people to show up for games. They're going to buy hot dogs and beer.
But you can look at it from a governmental standpoint too. I mean, there's a reason when you look at the Casey Center or you look at the Iowa Event Center and the Convention Center, when you build that brings in a hotel.
Absolutely.
So we look at it. Do you want it privately or do you want it publicly? It doesn't matter. But Polk County's
Travis. So, God, man, now you're making me think something.
Okay. What am I making you think?
There is no denying what happened when they built that arena downtown. If you were around in the 90s in downtown Des Moines and you remember what downtown was, we got lucky. We got real lucky that some people stepped in and said, time to turn this thing around. Bruno included. We're going to start putting nice restaurants back in downtown Des Moines instead of seedy bars. And he built the arena. Paul McCartney starts showing up. So to that point, then
you have a Hilton hotel that shows up.
Right. An entire renovation of downtown Des Moines starts to spark from those few little things. It does all sorts of stuff. Industry starts again. Damn it! Does that mean that taxpayers should fund these giant stadiums?
Well, it depends on how it's because it is revenue for the city, right?
100%.
You're talking tax revenue, property tax revenue, sales tax revenue.
Hard to calculate what it does for your community.
100%. I mean, that's why you have tax increment financing. That's why you have a lot of the stuff that helps it. So, should they fund 100% of it? No, but should there be a partnership? Because there's benefits for everybody. Yeah, you're going to make a lot of money, but the problem with government is that the taxpayer never fully understands or grasps or sees the benefits of said tax money, right? You're like,
you see the bill.
You see the bill and you're like, well, I don't want to pay for that.
Yeah, and I don't get any money back from it. I never got a check from Polk County for the event center. But look at all of the amazing things that I have benefited from in my life from having that. All right, so now let's take this logic, dude. I've always been I've always been a very conservative guy when it comes to the taxes, right? But this is the evidence is right there. We're talking through it. Look at how obvious it is. So now, an incredibly cool piece of property has always sat vacant in my lifetime down there in Des Moines, right on the river, just north of of Grays Lake, the old toxic waste facility, the Dyco plant. Kyle Kraus shows up, says, I want to put a multi-use facility down there. I want to put a venue down on the south side of downtown Des Moines. We can revitalize that area.
Has that area been cleaned up yet?
Man, remember we had... Dude, I got a guy that we could get on that could give us the lowdown on that. Okay,
because sometimes
not
the sticking
stadium, part, not the stadium. I mean the ground.
Yeah, no, yeah, the ground. If the ground's not clean, that's the big problem. Like, when Omaha built its arena, that was an old toxic waste site. It was the Asarco plant, and part of the sticking point was we got to clean this ground before you can put anything there. And who's going to take care of that? I mean, there's a lot of issues, but once you get through that, once you decide on it, then good things can happen. Now,
I love Rev tries to jump in because he's like, that's not South Side. I said South Side of Des Moines, Rev. Chill out, Lee Town.
515-517-2303. That's the number to call if you want to chime in with us. When we come back, we're going to talk Caitlyn Clark because she had a game last night, and it did not end well for Caitlyn Clark, who, could be out tonight against New York and maybe out in the All-Star game. Nothing official yet, but it was not. You hate to see injuries like happen this in the last minute of the game. That's for sure. We'll watch that injury and talk about her game last night against Connecticut when we come back on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vents, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
The Royal Mile, where everyone's a wee bit British. The Royal Mile is downtown Des Moines' living room with classic pub favourites. Pair them with a glass of whiskey or an expertly poured Guinness. It's bloody brilliant. The Royal Mile, a proper British pub.
There's always something new at Fong's Pizza. The patio is open and ready for you, your friends, and an ever-changing menu of tiki drinks. Or try our new noodle dishes alongside your favorite slice. It's all happening this summer at the new Fong's in the East Village.
Thinking about buying a home? Get pre-approved in 30 minutes with Gary Presnell at Northwest Bank in Des Moines. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA, FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know. High-quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquor is home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
Here at Willis, we are proud to offer Rhino Lining Spray and Bed Liner. When you need protection without compromise, choose a professionally applied Rhino Lining Spray-On Liner. Only offered by authorized and trained Rhino applicators like us. Willis Chevrolet trusts Rhino Lining's quality, strength, and durability to protect every new truck we sell from abrasion, corrosion, and daily wear and tear. We can also add it to any make and model truck, even if you didn't buy it from us. Schedule online or give us a call to get yours done today.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
The best bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bakery, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking them. Find us at the downtown Des Moines Farmers Market every Saturday.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
This morning, I'm sporting the Rush Radio shirt. Bright construction orange, man. You can get your Rush Radio shirt in almost any color you want. You can get it into a vintage color. You can also get a Rush Radio Show coffee mug. Just go to therushradio.com, click on the merch tab, and you'll be able to order whatever you want right there. And don't forget, we had Melissa on yesterday. But 15% of the sales go to Can Play. And we heard a lot about Can Play yesterday. You can help out a great organization just by, repping the Rush. Rep the Rush.
Great local group that helps get kids that might not be exposed to other sports the opportunity to do that. It's a wonderful local group that has had such an impact that they're now growing. And, army of people that are involved with that, and it is wonderful.
It is. It is. So you can do two great things at one time: brag about Ross and myself, and help Can Play.
And you put us first.
Yes, it's us, and then Can Play,
and then kids,
and then Can Play.
You can help us and our egos, and then also kids benefit from it that need help.
No, it was kind of cool. When I saw Mick and Lisa over the weekend, and I walk into a venue and they're wearing the gear, and I'm like, man, that's kind of cool, dude.
We are lucky to have Mick, man. I hope that they understand how much we appreciate them. Truly, that I saw that, man. It makes I think I kind of cried a little bit when I saw it. Like, man, they went to go see Owen. They wore that gear. We appreciate Mick and Lisa very much.
Well, he was so cool. He goes, "Hey, can I get Owen's artwork?" I go, "What for?" His logo. And he goes, "I want to have a flag made of the Owen Justice Band." He goes, I'll fly the Rush with Travis and Ross, and I'll fly the Owen Justice Band flag." And I'm like, "That's super cool. That's super cool." So yeah, just go to the Rush Radio show or rushradio.com, click on the merch tab, and get yourself a shirt. And again, new design is going to be coming up shortly. I'm working on some stuff right now.
Is the shirt comfortable?
Is the shirt? You know what?
Is it like one of the?
Here, I was a little worried because there are levels to t-shirts, right?
Yeah. There's levels to this shit.
There's level. Now, is this one of those kind of those it's softer?
I like it.
But I like it. It's comfortable on me. It doesn't feel like it's going to shrink. The quality is really good, because that's what I was really worried about. I'm like, what's the quality going to be like? And I'm like, oh, this is a good shirt. This is a really good. And I had a clothier call me yesterday. He owns a clothing store, and he ordered one of our shirts, and he called me to say, hey, I like the shirt. So when a guy who owns a clothing store says you did good, I felt validated at that point, and that's what we need is validation. The Indiana Fever, Ross, won last night, but Caitlyn Clark, this happened with about 40 seconds ago. It looks like a nice little just assist to Aaliyah Boston, but Caitlyn Clark comes up grimacing, holding her groin, and you can see the look on Aaliyah Boston's face. Caitlyn Clark goes to the end, puts her face into the basketball standard, and she's about in tears, Ross. I mean, I've never seen Caitlyn Clark. I've seen a lot of emotions on her, but I'm telling you, she is upset and she's about crying. And you look at the play and you're like, how'd you get injured there? But it's just the way you plant, it's the way you put pressure on your leg. And right away, she's going to her right groin, and she knows it right away.
Man. Lingering issues, dude. Put her on the bench for maybe the remaining. This sucks. This sucks for. There's no perfect answer. I'm not a doctor, but we're seeing multiple of these little lingering, nagging. Your body. Again. It's her groin. Jay is saying that that it's on the other leg from the other injury.
It is the other leg.
We talked about how you compensate for one injury, you put pressures on your body that you're not used to that can cause other injuries. I think that's what's happening. I'm no doctor. I'm just watching what's happening. Here's a young athlete who was remarkably healthy until 23. And now at 23, no, this happens at 30. This happens at 35. This happens much later in life. I think that I think that she needs a long break. Maybe a sit down for and a groin. Again, we should get Dr. Sullivan on to kind of talk to us about what this means and what this can look like and what recovery can be from that. But this feels to me, Travis, like it falls into that same category we had with him before. That's a moving goalpost. Depends on the patient, depends on what the injury actually is, how severe the groin strain or pull or tear or what. A lot of factors. I think what's happening is she's putting stress on her bodies that it's not ready for.
And sometimes it's just compounding, right? You brought it up. You're overcompensating in some areas. And the crazy thing is, she came off last year to where she almost played for a complete year. Then she had the long layoff where she didn't play in that 3-on-3 league. She took the most time off she's probably ever taken off from basketball. And then you come back and you think, she's going to be rejuvenated. She's going to be refreshed. She's going to be 100% healthy. And she's had to deal with more injuries coming off a longer layoff than she's ever had. The crazy thing about last night is they needed her in the fourth quarter. She sat a long time at the end of the third, and she came in. She had 5 points heading into the fourth quarter. She ended up scoring 9 points in the fourth quarter. She hit a long three and took what was a close game and extended that lead. All of a sudden, she started finding the hoop. A pull up, 8-10 footer, hit a 3-pointer, layups, drawing fouls, doing the things. And I believe it was because of Caitlyn Clark, they pulled away and won that game last night. And then you're like, okay, it was still close enough with that 40-second mark. And you saw the play. You're like, how'd you get injured right there? And the way your body torques, twists, turns, it's like if you're going to get hurt, let's have it be a play where it makes sense, where you're diving after a ball, or you're something like that. You're like, wow, that's just a freak accident. And Ross, I think the reason she's brought to tears, a couple things. One, she knew what happened. She could feel it. Yeah. She knew exactly what happened. She's been through this. Number two, they play the New York Liberty tonight. So you got back-to-back games. And that's a high pressure game. That's a high marquee game. It's going to be very well watched on CBS Sports. But number three is the All-Star game festivities in Indianapolis this weekend. So you're the captain of the All-Star team. It's in your home city. You're in the 3-point contest, and you're going to be, the starter. And it's just like, why? Why is this happening?
I think in that moment, it's purely her competitiveness that brings that emotion. She knows crap. I mean, maybe the totality of all of that is rushing in, but I think it's just that moment of I'm hurt. I'm hurt. I can't play right now, and I don't know what that means for the future, and that's scary, and that emotion. I'm with you, dude. It looks like she's about to cry when she puts her head on that basketball sanction. She's that emotion that we've never seen or rarely seen from her. Normally, it's that competitive fire. That was her. That was vulnerability for a minute of like, oh. Dude, let's talk about the weight of this week. If you're the WNBA, you've put all the eggs in this basket.
Not only that, the city of Indianapolis has put all the eggs in this basket just for this weekend.
Travis, everybody is going to want her to go out this weekend, and the best thing for her and the best thing for everybody is for her to not play tonight against New York, probably sit out for the entire All-Star festivities. How can you do that? What's the call?
Here would be the call for me. And it's probably pretty, there's a risk involved, right? I think you could do the 3-point contest. You don't need to win the 3-point contest. I think people want to see you shoot 3-pointers. But if you were I would try to do it if you can't. When it comes to the All-Star game, I would start her. I would play her 30 seconds, and I'd take her out. You know what I mean there? I mean, it's like...
You're kind of getting the best of both worlds there, Trav. I see what you're saying. Okay. Because I was thinking it's all or nothing.
But I think you have a conversation with the opposing team. Everybody, you stay away from her. Here's what we're going to do. It's her home city. There's a lot of fanfare around here. Whether you like it or not, she's the face of the league. Don't touch her. Well, we're going to play her for 30 seconds to a minute, and we're going to take her out.
Let's call it what it is. Let's not say whether you like it or not, she's the face of the league. We can say it. We know you don't like it. We see it. It's glaringly obvious that very few of you like it. That she's here, that she's good. Very few of you like it. Get over it.
Well, it's funny. The more I get into this Christine Brennan book, and I'm like on chapter 10, chapter 11 right now, Ross, I don't know if you have Audible or you prefer to listen to books.
I do prefer audiobooks.
I'm going to tell you, it's disgusting. It is. I mean, there's a lot of we thought we knew, and it almost validates what we thought. But it's disgusting how unprepared the WNBA was for this, how really kind of non-supportive of Caitlyn Clark they were, and maybe still don't get it.
Let's go. Okay, let's expand it out. And maybe she does this. It wasn't just the WNBA. It was women's basketball. Yes. Gino Auriemma has nothing to do with the WNBA, and he scolded all of us. Told all of us how stupid we were for thinking that she'd actually be good. We don't know ball. We don't know ball like Gino. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't the it's easy to blame the WNBA, and it's real easy to say, women. These jealous women. They can't deal with another woman being good. No, Gino Auriemma sat there and wagged his finger in our faces and told us how we were the problem. There's a bigger thing here than sexism.
Fans delusional. Said that her fans are delusional.
These people don't even know what they're talking about. She went to Iowa. She didn't go to UConn. She went to Iowa. She sucks. And the UConn girls are going to go out there and beat the crap out of her and show her that she sucks. So they're going to cut their own nose off to spite their face. That's what they're doing. Could you imagine? Dude, like, looking back on it now, Tiger Woods dealt with the racism stuff from Fuzzy Zeller, and there was obviously some hurdles there. He didn't get these hurdles from within the sport.
No, the sport embraced Tiger Woods.
At some point, the sport realized it pretty quick and went, go, make us all bajillions of dollars. Do it. Nike, yeah, commercial, sweet. Pump your fist. Get excited. There's no more golf clapping. Now we cheer and yell and scream and holler, and we have the waste management. That comes from one person changing it all. and the sport saying, get out of their way. Get out of the way. I don't know what the answer is, Travis. You can't go to these teams and say, hey guys, you got to let her get to the basket. Come on.
No, I'm talking for the All-Star game, right?
No. But dude, we have also said they've got to dial it down in the regular season, in the games. You can't continue to run up behind her and punch her in the back.
Well, and Stephanie White said that after the game last night. They were just talking about the punishment that Caitlyn Clark takes. And she goes, it is what it is. She's not happy about it. She goes, but Stephanie White's been a coach in this league for a long time. She goes, all I know is this, is the game has been a lot more physical the last 2 years than it ever was before she arrived. And they're letting it go. And it is interesting to see people can't get out of the way just to enjoy. Why can't we have, for how many years have we heard, we need to watch this, we need to be a part of this? Why can't you just have nice things? Well, you were just given a nice thing. You were given a really nice thing.
Do you want to know the word?
Enjoy it.
If you want to cut through it, the word, the biggest ingredient, jealousy. Jealousy. And it's not a woman thing. It's a human thing. Gino Auriemma proves that. And he's not alone. We could find a bunch of other men, athletes, that all said the same thing. And it's sad, man. This is really, we're on the verge, because it's been a solid run of not exceeding the expectation. I don't even know what word to put on it. But that's probably the best phrase. It's not exceeding the expectation the way it did for years. And that's what made Caitlyn Clark so special. Every time people showed up, Caitlyn Clark showed up. Every time the lights got brighter, she got bigger. And if that's not happening, I don't know how long the lights stay on. I don't know how long the attention stays there. This is a big, this All-Star thing is going to be huge. When we look at the history of the WNBA in about 10 years, this will be a pivotal moment, good or bad. I don't know which it'll be. You're going to have a lot of eyeballs. One of the guys suggested maybe even put Caitlyn on a microphone and have her be a part of the broadcast for a little while or something like that. That'll keep people intrigued. It'll keep people watching, enough people watching that maybe they find a new player that they get excited about. That's your hope has to be with the WNBA. There are more athletes than Caitlyn Clark. She's fantastic, but man, we got a group of fantastic ladies playing here.
And we've said this before. She's not the best player in the WNBA.
No. So
not.
Man, if we could get the eyeballs here to watch the games, and we deliver again, Major League Baseball All-Star game. You got to show up for the people that show up. We can't control whether Caitlyn Clark is hurt or not. We can control where we use her in the broadcast and how we utilize that and maximize this opportunity. Running her out there and having her get beat up, knocked down to the ground.
It's not doing anybody any favors.
No, I don't think anybody likes seeing it. Ratings show that. Ratings show that when she's not there, televisions go off.
Does for me. I don't watch any other WNBA games besides the one Caitlyn Clark is in. And that's probably the Iowa ties more than anything, but I am kind of fascinated. Yeah, I think up to the point now is to see if she does live up to those expectations, right? So in the fourth quarter last night, she wasn't having a good game last night. Then Ross, like you said, when it matters, she shows up. In the fourth quarter, close game, all of a sudden she scores 9, hits a big 3. You're like, this is what people paid to see. Sure, the first 3 quarters might have been disastrous, but when the game's on the line, when you need a big bucket, she shows up and delivers. And then people go, this is what I paid for. So she was being evaluated. They were on the plane to New York City. I would be, nothing official yet, I would be shocked if she played tonight. I really would be shocked.
Tonight, again, depending on what it is. We're not doctors.
Yeah.
And groin injuries are very strange, and there's a big spectrum of them. Who knows? They'll hopefully they'll find out. So
you got the 3-point contest on Friday, which, if she's not in that, if they come out and say, hey, she's not in that, the viewership for that is going to drop big time, right? Because you're going to be like, I mean, if Caitlyn Clark's not in the 3-point contest on Friday, not saying you would have watched it anyway, are you less inclined to watch said 3-point contest if she's not in it?
Yeah, 100%. It's Tiger Woods. Here, Tony, I want to talk about some of this comment here because Tony says it's the woke ideology. Asia is the face of the league, not Caitlyn. If you can't see this, you're putting on blinders. However, reality is Caitlyn has the ability to inspire people and bring the fans. Tony, Asia Wilson might be the best player in the league. There's no doubt. Caitlyn Clark is the face of the WNBA. Caitlyn Clark is the face of women's athletics.
Well, Tony he actually says it because you're contradicting yourself when you say, however, reality is Caitlyn has the ability to inspire people and bring fans. If you're bringing fans, you're the face of the league.
Like Asia Wilson's the best player, no doubt. And we've said this. Caitlyn Clark's not the best player. She's undoubtedly the face of the league. She's not the face of the league. She's the face of women's sports globally right now.
She might be the face of sports in general right now.
She might be. Asia Wilson's the better player.
Not disputing that at all.
Caitlyn Clark's one of the most famous athletes on the planet, recognizable by her face. I've seen Asia Wilson. If Travis put up a picture of her right now, I wouldn't be able to say, oh, that's Asia Wilson. Put Caitlyn Clark in a T-shirt and put it on the internet, and everybody goes, hey, it's Caitlyn Clark, 22. I don't know what number Asia Wilson is. She's the better player. This is the whole conversation that we're having. What was his name? Tony, I think?
Yeah.
This is the whole conversation we're having, man, is that there's some phenomena happening here. There always has been. This is what Gino Auriemma couldn't figure out. He's stuck in, she's not the best. Okay. You're right. She's not the best. But you're wrong. She's not the face.
I was watching a podcast. Shaq was on it, and I think it's Off the Record. Two women hosted. It wasn't a bad interview, but I'm using a long story to get to what he was saying because he went off on RG3 tweeting at Angel Reese, and he basically said he was going to effing punch him in the mouth.
Saw that
if he didn't start doing it. But what he went on to say later on, he goes, "I'm always about selling. I'm about marketing, and I'm about selling." And the truth is, if you can't market, if you can't sell, what's your worth? Caitlyn Clark is a marketer. Caitlyn Clark is a seller. She sells tickets. She puts butts in seats. She is a corporate monster. She's the only one in the WNBA that has that. And so, and look at Shaq. Was Shaq the best center in the league? He was
for a period of time. Yeah.
But I mean, but overall, but Shaq's size, enormity, personality,
nailing it.
sold Shaq.
That's a great point. Was Shaq a bigger representative of basketball than his stats? Yes. And he was a Hall of Fame player. But he's absolutely one of the most recognizable faces on the planet. I love Shaq. I've always liked Shaq. I think there's some fun stories. I mean, there's, no pedestals, right? There's good and bad with every person. I do like Shaq. I think that story of why he sells his shoes at Walmart for so cheap. A mom came to him after a game one day and said, "Why are you selling shoes for so expensive? My kid can't afford the shoe." And he called his people and said, "We're changing it." If the story's true.
Yeah. But see, he gets it. He understands that
the marketing
is the marketing end of it. And that's what you have to separate the marketing and the athleticism and who's better. And I'm a better player. Nobody cares that you're a better player. They care that they like you, relate to you, and can understand you, and you can market yourself.
You don't have to win.
No.
You have to make me money.
Does Starbucks have the best coffee in the world? No. It's the most recognizable brand in coffee.
Marketing. Do we have to win the games to make the money? Do we have to make the best coffee to make the money? The end is make the money. Do I have to be the best basketball player to make the most money? No, I can market my way there.
Do you have to win games to make money as an owner? No, you need to own the real estate and market everything around it.
This conversation right now is reminding me of my broker and very good friend, Mark Charter. When Mark just started, like everybody, Mark just started as a realtor, right? You go get your license, you don't have any deals, you don't have any clients, and you stand around, you go, oh crap, what do I do? How do I get people to trust me with this huge thing that I want, that I'm going to get them through? And Mark got his business rolling, and at some point he decided, I can't be the biggest. I'm never going to do as many deals as, these people that have these huge teams of folks. But maybe I could be the best and highest rated agent. What if I just focus on servicing my clients the best I can, and then getting 5-star reviews, and eventually I can have the most 5-star reviews of any client, and then I can market it that way. And that was a block. It was a brick in the wall. To go, hey, I've got this many 5-star reviews. People trust me. They like me. People get more clients, get more reviews, start to build a business. Set a very specific goal, a marketing goal. I want to get here. Man, I can fight my way through all these deals and all these people, and I can do this, or I can create my own path. I can carve my own niche out of the world and do this thing. That's admirable. That's admirable.
515-517-2303. We got an hour down. We got an hour to go. It is the Rush Radio Show powered by Willis Automotive.
The Rush Radio is now on the free TuneIn app, allowing you to enjoy the show on Apple products and Android Auto. Download the free TuneIn app and search The Rush Radio to take Travis and Ross wherever you go.
Your house wasn't built for bats, birds, or raccoons, but try telling them that. At Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions, we've been helping Iowans take back their homes for over 20 years. We use cost-effective, eco-friendly methods to solve wildlife and pest problems the right way. Whether it's bats in your attic, birds in the vent, raccoons in your chimney, or moles in your yard, we have long-term solutions. Call Bats and Bugs Pest Solutions today at 515-218-3400, and let's make sure your home doesn't become their home.
Hey there, I'm Jake Schneider, Service Supervisor here at Willis Nissan. With summer heating up, now is the time to make sure that your vehicle is ready for the road. This July, we're offering 10% off coolant exchanges to make sure that your engine is running cool, and 10% off fuel air inductions to make sure that your Nissan engine is performing at its absolute best. And for veterans, we're taking off an additional 5% for a total of 15% off as our way of saying thanks. So stop on in or schedule online at willisnissan.com.
The largest selection of German beer in the world? You'll find it at the Hessen House. From Doppelbocks to Oktoberfest to Hefeweizens and Dunkels, there's no passport needed for the deliciously different beer and food at the Hessen House. So grab your friends and make it a fun night out. The Hessen House, 4th and Court, Des Moines.
You know, Brian, at Central City, we really do have the best selection around.
I know, high quality stuff you can't find anywhere else.
Whistle Pig Plantation Rum.
Yeah, and over 150 of the best scotches on earth.
And a ton of bitters, mixers, and more.
You know what we are? High class.
Definitely high class, yeah.
Make way for the natty.
Okay, maybe medium class.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the Wooden Nickel program.
Back like a rash you thought was gone. Travis and Ross aren't contagious, but they are addictive. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
There we go. I'll figure this stuff out. Welcome back to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive, everybody. You're listening on the audio stream at therushradio.com, on the Rush Radio Android app, or the TuneIn app. Thank you so much. As we come into your cars, your speakers, all that good stuff. If you're watching on YouTube this morning, sorry you have to look at our ugly faces, but you know what? We make it happen.
You don't have to.
On X, Facebook, and Instagram as well. Ross you look heavier today. You look fatter today.
Oh, from the food thing yesterday.
Yeah.
For a minute, I was like, is it my shirt?
No. The shirt looks good. You're just filling it out more because you carved up yesterday.
Oh, dude. It's a fun event. It's one of my favorite events. I'm so lucky to be able to do that. I mean, I got to hang out with AD yesterday for a long time. That was a lot of fun. A lot of the guys from Iowa everywhere were there. So I saw Matt Van Winkle and a whole bunch of crews. Scott Sipker. Saw a bunch of my old buddies, right? That was fun. It's a surreal thing for me, man. I grew up right there by the fairgrounds. I've loved the fair. There's never been a year when I didn't make it to the fair. My mom used to love going down there, and we loved taking the grandkids and walking around. It's just, there's so much. I love it. And to be able to do this event, because the new food is all like, the director of the fair yesterday gave some stat, and it was like crazy. It's like 70% of the people say the number one thing they like to do at the fair is eat.
Yeah, duh.
Well,
but then the number two thing is drink. So you have eat and then you have drink. And it's probably a wide margin by that.
So it's such a cool honor to be a part of this event every year. And so I was really looking forward to it. I got to go down there and see a bunch of my buddies and have a really fun. But I saw Heather. Got to talk to a couple of the old folks that we worked with. Some of them didn't seem very happy to see me, but whatever.
I'm just curious. Do you have access to the Rush Radio social media accounts? I think you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you wouldn't know it because you didn't. You're like the only one of the local personalities who didn't post something on social media yesterday.
I was saving the content for you.
Is that right? I mean, you could have taken a picture or something. Said, "Hey, I'm here. Rush Radio representing." You suck at social media. You do. Because you don't think of it. It's not top of mind, which is probably a good thing, right? I mean, it's like it's not consuming your mind. Like, I got to capture this moment. Can I pick on the event a little bit?
I got to capture this moment. That's
right. You're savoring it. You're like, when you're on your Camino, I'm not going to take photos. I'm going to just bring it in because I don't want to look at Portugal through a lens. I want to see it through my own eyes and paint my own picture. I'm going to pick on this event a little bit. I'm not picking on the state fair.
Okay.
And I want to know I know how much you despise food photos, right? And I'm guilty of this. I probably take more pictures of food than anybody and I post them. But I had a tipping point yesterday. And because you didn't take any photos, you didn't share anything on social media, I'm not picking on you. I'm going to pick on Iowa everywhere a little bit. Just hear me out. It's not a personal rip. Kind of. I'm going to pick on Caitlyn Thompson over at Channel 13 for a little bit.
I like her a lot also. So
that's fine.
You're on thin ice here, man.
I don't have anything against.
These are my friends.
Here's what it is. I like food photos. There was one yesterday. Was it like a butter shake or something like that?
Yeah, there was it was called, hold on, I've got it right here. The Butter Cow Tornado from Dairy Zone over on the east side.
Looked incredible. I think when I go up there, I'm going to have this. I love food photos. I love presentation. Here's what I don't like. And it really hit me yesterday because I was inundated with it and it was just all up in your face. I don't need close-ups of you eating food.
Oh,
it's
okay.
Quite freaking disgusting.
all right. That's a fine because that's not necessarily. I'm okay.
Yeah, I mean, Caitlyn Thompson's got her phone like right in her face and going, "Here we got the," and all of a sudden it's like, I'm like, "Oh my god." Okay. AD's got the egg roll. He's like, I'm like, that's enough. All right. People want to see the food. They want to go, is that appetizing? When you put said food in your mouth and you chew, it becomes appetizing at that point.
And you know this about me. I'm not, this is probably part of that spectrum thing we were talking about yesterday. I try not to let things really bother me. No, noises do. I've always been an audiophile. I've had headphones on most of my life. I used to spend all of my time doing audio production. I hate the sound of swallowing and chewing. You can hear a fake swallow in a TV, like in a commercial or in a movie. I can pick up on what the actual sound is. Your brain can distinguish between the sound of frying bacon and rain falling, and they sound very similar, and so they'll transpose those. And you'll be like, well, they're frying bacon when it's supposed to be rain. I hate that sound of the fake swallow. I hate it. Dude, you ever heard the Snoop Dogg song?
No. I can tell you right now, no. I haven't. I haven't. I'm going to be flat out honest with you. Before you even name the song, I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Sorry.
Dude, that's like last night I get a text from Brooks Reynolds and it said, I have an idea. And I just wrote back, I'm in. I don't need to hear anymore. I've never heard it. You said Snoop Dogg, and I can tell you.
The answer is no. Absolutely.
So
not.
I won't pick that. That's definitely a personal thing. But dude, I saw like Ray saying AD had I didn't see AD's review of it. I saw them there shooting a bunch of stuff and Matt Van Wink's doing a bunch of clips for all of them. So I think that a lot of people did enjoy AD's thing, and I'm sure people liked Caitlyn's deal too. And by the way, Caitlyn, have you ever met her?
No, I haven't. And it's not a attack on her personally. I'm just saying, when you got your phone up in your face, I don't need to see you chewing and cheese.
But
here's
what I'm telling you, dude, the cheese pull thing, you can't. That is something. I saw 30 people doing that yesterday with this. So I won't knock them for it. This is what I'll say about Caitlyn. That's one of the sweetest people I've ever it pours out of her. Every time you're around her, you're like,
too nice? Like too
nice? No, I don't think that's a thing. There's fake nice. There's fake nice. No, she seems like a genuine, sweet-souled person.
I'm just using her as an example because she wasn't alone. I mean,
by the way, AD too. AD might be one of the nicest men ever. True 100%. Gentleman.
Love AD. As a matter of fact, I text AD a lot, but I'm just like, and maybe it's like, okay, usually it's because there were 11 or 13 different fair items yesterday. Was there that many yesterday? So
11.
Maybe it's just one, but when you start showing me you eating all 11, it's like, okay, we've crossed a barrier here, right? It's just like I can't watch you food.
You are one of these guys that just can't be happy because here's what you started with.
Happy.
You started with, Ross, I'm mad at you because you didn't post anything. But let me tell you how I'm mad at the people that posted.
No, I clarified it. If you just give me the food photo, I would have been like, oh, like
exact. So if we just would have done it exactly the way that you would have wanted it
exactly.
done. Exactly. Yeah, duh.
Why didn't me? Consult me first. It's all about me.
I love it.
You understand that?
I did have so I had that butter cow tornado, and do you want to know what note I wrote down for it?
Tastes like butter?
Wilford Brimley. Dude, this thing is going to give you diabetes. Holy.
It's not diabetes. It's
diabetes. Yeah, diabetes is like a medical diagnosis. Diabetes is when you go, oh my God, I think I got the beatus. Sugar. Dude, I took a bite of that thing and I was like, I turned into Beavis.
I need some TV for my bundle. TV for my bundle.
That was a lot of sugar. There are people that are going to all of these items. There are people that will love them, and so it's definitely a personal taste type of thing. Like, dude, I was telling you yesterday before I went to it, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like Brooks's deal because I don't like pickles. It was one of my favorite things. The chicken was really good. It wasn't like I wasn't overwhelmed by the pickle taste and flavor. It had some party dip with it. So Brooks's item is super good. Joni's was amazing. Joni is so technically it's What's Your Cheese. Joni Bell is the one that I've done with stuff with Rib Shack for years. And she now has the new building down at the fairgrounds, which will be amazing. It's called like the Blue Ribbon building or something like that. It has Blue Ribbon theme to it. She had a maple bacon bourbon grilled cheese. It was
there's a lot of flavors going on there, man.
All of this stuff, dude. So here, I want to tell you something about the names, okay? It was delicious, but it has like a little glaze that you dip it in, and it was chunks of bacon that were amazing. The one that I think will probably get the most press is Win in Sarah's Kitchen. They won last year with the new fair food item, and they might win again this year because they had a bacon chicken ranch egg roll.
That's what everybody was talking about yesterday. I didn't see who won, but I think AD, his favorite was the egg roll.
Yeah, it was good. It was not my favorite. And again, to each their own, right? Everybody's going to have their own thing that they like. It just wasn't my. It wasn't. Maybe it has to have something to do with the order in which you eat them too, Travis. As you know, what you ate is going to affect what you eat.
Well, yeah, because there's a reason when you pair wine with food, wine is much better when you pair it correctly.
Yeah.
And so if you have a steak with like a rosé, that's good. Your wine's going to suck or your steak's going to suck because those two don't pair together. And so when you start mixing and matching flavors going from one spectrum to another, and if you go all over the place, you're by item 11,
dude,
it's kind of like in the Kentucky Derby, right? If you're on the outside post, you're probably not going to win. Not saying it's impossible, but if you're like the 11th item on the thing yesterday, people are like, I'm out.
So everybody does their own. All 11 are available at one time. And then they say, all right, pick your first one. And they say, don't everybody go to the same thing. So everybody kind of scatters. So everybody has a different order. All right. But I wrote my order down. And Travis, I'm looking back on it, and I'm guaranteeing you that was part of what I didn't even realize it till right now. Because what I had, first thing that I had was a potato half and half Korean corn dog. It was this giant corn dog.
Half what?
Okay. It's kind of confusing. It's a giant corn dog with like crinkle fries as the batter.
Okay.
The top half of the corn dog is a fried mozzarella stick. The bottom half of the corn dog is where the beef sausage is.
Okay.
So that was interesting. It was a lot. So that was my first thing. My second thing I had was Brooks's chicken pickle ranch thing. That was really good. Third dish that I had was a Scotcheroo shake from Over the Top. That's a ice cream shop over in Pleasant Hill. It was fantastic. That was one of my 3 favorite items because it was exactly what it tasted, just like a Scotcheroo. It was delicious. Here's where I go wrong. And nothing wrong with it. The fourth thing I had was the Hawk lamb wrap. It was like a lamb and curry and cilantro.
Oh, that's going to mess with your taste buds, dude.
Dude, that was the thing I had right before I had the egg roll.
Oh. So you got cilantro just sitting in your
and curry
on your palate. That should have been the last thing.
I didn't realize it until
curry and cilantro are so overpowering.
I know. Screwed it up.
Wow.
Screwed it up. So my apologies to Win in Sarah's Kitchen for not thinking through my order here. 6th was the Appalicious Connie. Dude, it's so funny because we're sitting there and one of the ladies from the register is like, keeps saying, it's just like one of these. I know she's the owner, but does anybody else find it surreal that the mayor of our city is working at the Appalicious stand?
That's fair, right? You're like, okay.
Listen, I've been around Connie Bozen a lot. That is a super impressive lady. super impressive lady. It makes things look effortless and is always getting stuff done. I've been on several committees with Connie. She outperforms everybody. Sometimes in those committees, you could pile up all the works of everybody else, and they don't get what Connie gets done, and it seems effortless for her. She's a really impressive lady. So that was my sixth thing, was the Appalicious. She has a sweet Granny Apples Delight sundae. Everything that Connie does at Appalicious is obviously apple flavored, and this is like an apple pie ice cream. It's apple ice cream. It's got apple pie filling. It's in a waffle cone, and it comes with an apple cookie that those apple cookies she's been selling for years. Seventh I had was from What You Smokin' Barbecue. Really fantastic barbecue joint up near Ledges State Park. They have a thing called Three Little Pigs. It's 3 different ham balls.
I saw those.
Yeah.
And I saw people shoving them in their face and chewing them. And ham balls being chewed up is not a good close-up.
And the ham balls, I think, at my table at least, that was like the most polarizing thing. I didn't realize that cherry flavoring is such a polarizing thing. My friend Flag, that you know, his wife.
Well, if you don't like cherries, you're a loser. I mean, let's be honest. If you don't like cherries, you're a loser.
You're gonna piss people off, dude. Shouldn't have. You went too far there.
I went too far.
I'm just going to tell you.
Crossed that line.
Yeah.
Cherry is the greatest fruit on the face of the planet. There is no better fruit than a Bing cherry from Washington.
I'm telling you, I didn't know this until yesterday. Flag's wife, Dana, doesn't like cherries. And she's always said, like, yeah, I just don't like the flavor of them.
I don't like her.
But you just pissed off a lot of people because D-Hop got a crew, dude. Trust me.
Get in the car. We're going.
Yeah, you might be. Yeah. You see a group of tattooed Eastsiders getting out of your car, getting out in your driveway. Run. She doesn't like cherries, and she was really probably one of the only people I knew that's like, man, I don't like cherries. I was like, oh, I love cherries. Yesterday, I found out that that's a very polarizing fruit. Because so one of the ham balls has a maraschino cherry juice on it, which I thought, oh, that's going to be delicious. It was good. Some of the people tried it and they're like, it tastes like cough syrup.
Well,
some people tried it, they're like, that's amazing.
And here's the problem: is the maraschino part of it, right? And
I think I shouldn't have said maraschino. I think there was a maraschino cherry concoction on there, but I shouldn't have said that.
You've got like the Shirley Temple maraschino cherries, which are those bright red ones, which is just basically sugar, and it's not very good. Then when it comes to the cocktail cherries, you've got the Luxardo cherries. And I would just drink that juice, right? I mean, that's just the Luxardo cherries are a different type of cherry than those bright red cheap ones you get.
Your mouth watered when you said the word Luxardo.
Yes. And then if you go to my refrigerator right now, we go to Costco, we get the big like 3-pound thing of just Washington Bing cherries, and I'll just sit there and eat like the whole 3 pounds and poop them out later because it's good fiber.
Nashville hot chicken mac and cheese pizza.
One bite, everybody knows the rules.
It was good. It was good. I'm not necessarily a
spicy. Was it hot?
It was okay. Yeah, it wasn't over the top hot. They use a it was just exactly as it was described. It reminded me of kind of like a Pizza Ranch things.
Flags listening.
Yeah, and I think Dana would like you a lot. That makes sense.
I was joking though, right?
You better clarify this because I'm telling you the Mountie
Flag knows I was joking.
The Mountie is gathering.
I'm getting scared. They're coming after me.
All right, so that was the Nashville hot chicken mac and cheese pizza was what I had right before I did that maple bacon bourbon grilled cheese, and that was my number 1 pick. Brooks was my number 2, and the over the top scotcheroo shake was my number 3. The 10th thing I ate was the Hawaiian hog. That was really good too.
Is there pineapple? I'm not a pineapple guy.
There you go. It's just like the cherry thing.
I don't despise. No, hold on. I don't despise pineapple. As a matter of fact, I like pineapple by itself. When you start throwing it on pizza and other things, it kind of just mixes. Pineapple is one of those overpowering flavors to where it just takes over everything else. That's why
kind of like
it
pickle. I think it kind of like pickle. When you got pickle on something, you can't hide it. And this is a pork slider or pork sandwich with coleslaw and a pineapple on top of it. It was good. But again, several of these things are like, when you hear the description, you go, oh, it tastes just like that. The last thing that I had then was the Butter Cow Tornado, which was, again, Wilford Brimley.
But see, and you probably should have ended, well, there's probably no good time to do the desserts, right? And
that's what I was trying to figure out. I tried to like space them out.
Yeah. And because if you would have mixed the Scotcheroo with the Butter Cow, would that have been a conflicting thing, or would that have been
complimentary? I don't know. I'm not smart enough to know that stuff. I know nothing about food, dude. Nothing. Red wine goes with red meat, right?
Yeah. That's good. Now you want a heavier red wine, so you want to,
I don't even know what that means, and I've never understood how a drink can be dry.
So a Pinot is a little. I wouldn't say drier, but let's say you go to a Chianti Classico or a Bordeaux. That's a really heavy wine. You're going to get a rich color out of that. It's going to go really well with your steak, with your fish and your chicken. You're probably going to go with a Chardonnay.
All right, now you used words there for a little bit that I knew. That felt good when you started saying words like steak. I was like, that's English.
I know you know food. You know why? Because you eat it. And at the end of the day, you either like it or you don't like it. If you don't like cherries, I got a problem.
Says the guy that's never listened to Snoop Dogg.
I know. No, I've heard gin and juice.
I've heard gin and juice.
What did I have? I've heard Snoop's affirmations. I've got my Snoop Dogg. Whatever song he was singing in Old School. Remember that when he was doing the concert out in front of Vince Vaughn's?
Yeah, you saw that.
Party house. Snoop-a-loop.
So that was my review. That's my review of the new fair food. Lots of great stuff. Here's what I want to tell you though about the names, and because I did talk to Mindy real quick, and I was like, "How do you guys narrow this down to 11?" And she's like, "By name. We get all of the new fair foods submitted to us. There's like 80 of them, and of course you can't taste 80 different foods.
Yeah.
So you basically just have to go by the description of what it is and guess on what that flavor is going to be and how unique that is to the fair. And then we have a committee of people that come up with this 11, and then we invite 100 of you idiots to come out here and try it and actually pick the winner.
And don't kid yourself. Popularity, and hear me out. You're always going to have a Connie Bozen. You're always going to have Joni. You're always going to have Brooks. Just because you trust, you kind of go, okay, we trust them.
That's a good point. That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. That Wynn and Sarah having won it last year and then coming in again with another one that everybody seemed to be loving. Those are home runs. That's the type of stuff you're looking for. Yeah, Joni's done amazing stuff. And it's got to be hard. Again, I don't know enough about food.
Yeah, you do. You know enough to eat it, and that's all you need to know. 515-517-2303. We'll take a break, come back last half hour of the show on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
I'm loving these wooden nickels, Brian.
Yeah, I suppose everyone is catching on.
Just spend $20 to get a wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings on your next purchase.
Some of these are worth $5. That could be huge.
I know, right? That's why you have to spend $20.
It's 25.
Collect 10. It's like money back to you.
Spend 20, you get another wooden nickel.
It's 25.
Collect 10 and add up the savings. It's huge.
Central City Liquors, home of the 10% cash coupon.
And the wooden nickel program.
It's huge.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Mason Miller, sales manager out here at Willis Infinity. We got some great stuff going on this month. This month, we actually have 0% all the way out to 60 months on a brand new 2025 QX60 and 0% out to 36 months on both 80s, 50s, and 55s. Of course, we do offer loyalty still on the QX60s and 50s and 55s. For more information, visit us online at willisinfinity.com or see us in our showroom.
Missing a quality, home-cooked meal? You know, the kind Mom used to make? Lucky for you, we found her recipe book. Welcome to the High Life. Welcome to the Champagne of Bars.
Looking for the perfect golf escape? Experience links-style golf right here in Ames at Coldwater Golf Links. With rolling fairways, large greens, and unique routing, it's golf the way it's meant to be played. Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out, you'll love our course's welcoming atmosphere and friendly staff. Grab your clubs, book a tee time, and make every round unforgettable. Coldwater Golf Links, where great golf leads to great memories. Visit coldwatergolf.com to book your round today.
Is your vehicle in need of some summer cleaning this year? Come into Willis Chevy for your full detail today. For the month of July, we are offering a special of $249, and that includes the interior and exterior with a wax. Give us a call to get scheduled or do it online at willischevy.com.
Back to the Rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
Welcome back to the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive. I'm Travis Justice. He's Ross Peterson. What are you laughing about? What are you laughing about?
I saw Charlie. He's like, Ross, we need names. Who wasn't happy to see you? Nobody worth mentioning.
Everybody's happy to see Ross. At least every time I see Ross, I'm happy. Every single morning, I'm a happy guy.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Familiarity breeds contempt. I spent a lot of time in that building.
How many people were there from?
They saw me on my worst days. Okay. That's just, and you know, Travis, I'm an emotional dude. It's stupid emotional.
See,
which most of the time is a good thing because I'm a happy guy. Occasionally, I'm not.
You know, everybody's like, name him. Here's the difference between Ross and myself.
And seriously, it's people you wouldn't even know. I swear to God.
But here's the difference between Ross and myself. Ross is nice. He's going to be respectful. He's not going to name them. If it was me, I would name them because that's what I do. And you know, like going back to the chomping on your food, and you're Ross like, be nice, because I told him I go, I'm going to talk about this. He goes, don't rip on the fair. I go, I'm not ripping on the fair. I got some beefs to, and it doesn't mean I'm going after you personally. I'm just saying everybody did it.
And by the way, Mike says, screw nice. Guys, I wish I could screw nice.
He can't. He's incapable of it.
And Travis has times when he wishes he could be nicer, and he can't. And I have times I wish I could be meaner, or I have times I'm being mean and wish I was nicer.
I mean,
here's what I know.
Name names here, but I've watched a person screw Ross over for many years, and he was still too nice. And I'm like, stop being nice. And he can't. It's his nature. That's why you guys like him and don't like me. Okay.
D-Hop loved you until
15
minutes
ago.
Now.
Ross, last hour we talked about how Major League Baseball gets it right when it wants to do it right. Right. We talked about the home run derby at the end of the game last night, which was a super cool feature. We talked about the Hank Aaron celebration. We also referenced, the Field of Dreams, the first one that they did. Was spectacular, and they do it right. I'm going to give you an example of a sport that gets it wrong and continues to get it wrong, and that's golf. And golf is interesting because it's ridden the coattails of Tiger Woods for a long time, right? And it got it right with Tiger, but when Phil Mickelson broke off and LIV started, that just wasn't about starting a new competitive league. It was about golfers being able to market themselves and have some control. And Bryson DeChambeau is a perfect example of this. Bryson DeChambeau is more popular on the LIV Tour than he ever was on the PGA Tour.
In fact, totally reinvented himself, Travis. He was the bad boy of golf. He was the dork.
Yes.
And now I like Bryson DeChambeau.
Yeah, you see his personality. You see this come out, and you're like, Bryson gets it. This is what you want to see out of your athletes, a different side of them on outside the tour, where you're restricted from highlights, you're restricted from doing anything that, puts the gentleman's game in jeopardy. Have you ever heard of Grant Horvat?
I had not, Travis, but I know where you're going because I saw this. One of my websites led me to a link today that from Awful Announcing. Is that
Yes.
maybe where you saw this?
Mine actually came, I think it was from Fox News, actually. But
Okay.
Grant Horvat is a golf influencer. So think Paige Sporanic, but not as popular. But he's one of the most popular people in the golf space. He has 1.5 million subscribers to his YouTube channel. He has almost 1 million subscribers to his Instagram channel, and he's a pretty darn good golfer, and he makes a living by being a golf influencer. He's so good, Ross, that the PGA Tour and the upcoming Barracuda Championship offered him a PGA exemption to play in said tournament. Why would you offer Grant Horvat an exemption to play in a PGA tournament? Because he's an influencer, because he can bring new eyes to the game. But if you're going to play in said PGA tournament, you have to follow their rules. And so with the exemption comes, you can't bring your crew. You can't show yourself being interactive with players. You can't humanize the experience. You've got to follow our rules. So here's an influencer. The only reason you gave him an exemption is because he's an influencer, and you say, well, you can't do it here. And this takes a lot of balls and believing in your convictions. Thanks. No thanks.
Yeah.
If I'm the Live Tour right now, I go find a place for him and say,
damn right.
Here.
Come on and bring the boys.
Yes. We'll let you have as much out here as you want.
Boy, looping a lot of our conversations in together right now, Travis. Did you see the marketing genius that did jump in and say, hey, you're not going to play there, come play here? Yes. He's playing in a Barstool event. He's going to play in a Barstool event. And guess where his 1 million subscribers plus are going to be tuned in to watch him hit golf balls? The Barstool event, not the Barracuda.
He might expose somebody to Barstool. Barstool's going, we're going to get a ton of hits. We're going to make money off this.
Chances are most of that's major crossover. Barstool's, but again, marketing genius of Dave Portnoy. You go, oh yeah, you guys, you're going to drop the ball on that? I'll pick it up and take it across the goal line for you.
I could just imagine the people in the PGA room. Well, if we let him do it, then everybody's going to want to do it. Yes. All you have to do is look at Bryson DeChambeau and go, well, how come Bryson's more popular now than he was on tour? Because he's been able to show a human side of himself. Scotty Scheffler, I don't know much about Scotty Scheffler, but let's be honest, and you brought this up in the pre-show meeting. The most we got to understand Scotty Scheffler was yesterday as he's getting ready for the British Open. I'm sorry, the Open Championships. But it took a press conference to go, oh, you're human. You're vulnerable. We would like to see more of this out of Scotty Scheffler. Not just at a press conference, but on... Why don't you paraphrase or go through what Scotty Scheffler was saying? Because it was real. It was
great.
It was honest.
And it was you, Travis. I love that word, man. And maybe we overuse it because we like it so much. But vulnerability. I love it when people show their thoughts. They just let it flow. You can see it because at one point he even goes, "Am I sounding crazy?" That's a key. That's an indicator of a person that's in flow. They're not even processing it. They're going, wait a minute, what's coming out of my mouth right now?
No, you've reached a point where you just don't give a shit anymore.
I think he's obviously a little bit there, but basically what he said was, it was a kind of a, what's the point of all of this conversation? For those of you that haven't seen it, it's about a 5-minute press conference answer that you almost have to consume in one chunk. You really do, because again, he's meandering. He's just thinking out loud, which is really cool when you get to see somebody do that.
With no filter.
None. He's just talking. And he says, I don't feel fulfilled. I go out here and I show up at these tournaments and I want to win them so badly. I can feel it. And then I win the tournaments. I'm lucky enough to actually win the tournaments. And it feels amazing for 2 minutes. And then I snap back into reality and I have to think about, well, okay, what's for dinner tonight? and I win this tournament, and on Monday I show up at the next tournament, and you guys go, all right, congratulations, you won that last one. Now what about this next one? And I don't feel fulfilled. I'm not filled by this. And I'm trying to figure out why that is. He says that. He says, I literally ask myself, why? Why do I want to win this tournament so badly? Why is always the best question, Travis. I want to start doing that more often, dude. When I'm cynical about things or I'm cynical about people, I want to stop and go, why am I feeling this way? Why am I projecting this onto that other person? Why do I think that person is thinking this about me when they are not thinking about me? Why am I reacting in this way? Why do I feel this way? What Scotty Scheffler was saying yesterday was the Aerosmith line, life's a journey, not a destination. It's the Baz Luhrmann line. The race is long, and in the end, it's only with yourself. That you got Ferris Bueller. What's Ferris Bueller's line? Man, life goes fast. If you don't stop every once in a while to look around, you're going to miss it. You're going to miss it. And Scotty Scheffler took a moment yesterday to go, hey, every now and again, this reality thing clicks, and I stop and I look around. And I pause time for a second, and I go, why am I doing this? I'm competitive, and I want to win, but I'm not. Then when I win, it's not scratching me where I itch.
It doesn't fill his bucket.
Yeah.
You know, dude from Iowa says this. He goes, Scotty's almost saying he should probably get a mental health check, which would be acceptable, just like a physical. Hold on for a second. I'm going to back up on that and say that was his mental health check.
Nailing it.
When you're able to freely speak about this, you are probably more mentally sane than people that bunch it up. I joke, but I'm not joking. I don't go to therapy anymore because this show is my therapy. I hope you think that when I say stuff, it is non-filtered. You guys, it's interesting. When I was at Owen's show the other day, a guy came up, the guy who runs Sailorville Lake goes, man, I know your story. He goes, this is really surreal for me that I listen to you, but I know your story. He goes, that's Aunt Jeanette. I talk about everything. And I'm like, this is my mental health check for me. Yeah. And that's what, to me, and I've always heard the stigma is internally. When you're not willing to talk about it, that's when you're going to go insane. That's when you're going to become, if you're willing to come out and admit this stuff, people go, oh. To me, Scotty Scheffler was just saying, here's what it is.
I loved it. I thought it was perfect. And then I saw people, Travis, like the way that it got into my life, it was sent to me with this message. Man, this dude ain't Tiger Woods. Right. This guy's got his priorities straight.
Or he is Tiger Woods.
No, he's not.
Tiger was just not willing. I'm sure Tiger dealt with that, but was afraid to talk about it.
Guys, let's be honest. What was Tiger dealing with his whole life? It was daddy issues. He couldn't please daddy enough. It had to be golf. It was golf. And when it wasn't golf, it was more golf. And if it wasn't more golf, it was even more golf. It was a daddy issue thing. He screwed up his family. He screwed up all this other stuff. He had his priorities wrong because it was golf. Scotty Scheffler took a moment yesterday to go, damn, man, this ain't my priority. And it freaks people out. They go, wait, no, because we project out. No, you have to take this thing that you do so seriously that it's your identity. You got to consume yourself into golf, Scotty Scheffler, because I've consumed myself into my business and my life. I've put family second, and damn it, that's what you have to do if you're going to be great also. And he's going, man, I can't figure this thing out. So I'm good at this, but it doesn't scratch me where I itch. You know what Scotty Scheffler was nibbling on yesterday? Nobody's going to like this. He was nibbling on that right there. Nibbling on the cross, nibbling on God, going, man, I can't figure this out. Why is my heart not happy when I do this thing that I set this goal, I achieve this goal, and I get this momentary relief? Everybody should appreciate that. Every single person should go, I've been there, man.
Well, I think the interesting part is, and I think he kind of led into maybe what leads to that, is that, and this is part of it, and Caitlyn Clark might go through this. The elite athletes may go through this. It's always, what's next? And that is, I just won the U.S. Open, or I just won the Masters, and the next question is, hey, how do you feel? It's like, okay, that's great. What are you doing next? You won the Masters. Are you going to win the Byron Nelson Classic? Are you going to win the Open Championship? Because if you don't win, you're a loser.
Yeah. Yeah, the day after that 2 minutes of exhilaration, the day after that, you get that. All right, so now what? Well, I'm going to enjoy this. Oh, my gosh, he's taking a break. Scotty Scheffler's lazy. He doesn't have that killer instinct that Tiger did. You're right. And so far, he hasn't had his back window bashed out. I loved it. I watched that thing yesterday, and I was like, yes, yeah. This is a guy getting it and being real and honest and going, man, I'm looking around. I don't understand this. I'm asking myself why I'm here. And then he says, am I sounding crazy? And one of the reporters goes, yeah. Yeah, you sound crazy right now, man. Why? Why does the reporter say that? Because the reporter is in his own world, projecting out. Going, wait a minute, Scott,
that you've reached the pinnacle. You should, how do you not enjoy it?
Right. You're there. And the guy that's there is saying, man, this doesn't feel like the mountaintop.
Well, and dude points out, remember last year there was a PGA golfer, and thanks for refreshing our memory, that killed himself. Remember, he got out of the round, he disqualified himself.
That's right.
And went and killed himself.
He'd been that, and yeah.
But those could be those same internal struggles. You know, I mean, I've reached the highest level of I want, and it's still not doing it for me. And I don't know. And going back to what started this conversation, I don't know if letting these guys show their personalities, be open, would solve some of that, right? I mean, if Scotty Scheffler could tell that story, can you imagine? Can you imagine being able to go behind the scenes of what he's thinking afterwards? I think it'd be fascinating.
I hope that the next time he wins a tournament, this gets brought up in not a snarky, snotty, gotcha kind of way. I hope that they genuinely, one of those reporters says, hey, Scotty, can we go back and address some of those comments about the fulfillment thing? That on that, in that gas tank of fulfillment, where are you at right now? And hopefully
he's probably sitting there going, well, the 2 minutes is probably 5 minutes, but because I'm up here and I'm
that'd be good for him to go, you know what? Now that I take an inventory of right now, take a core sample of where I'm at right now. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good, man. I did it. Got some money coming in the bank. Wife's proud of me. Kids are happy. Yeah, man. Right now it feels pretty good. Tomorrow morning, when I wake up, I'm going to be at about a 7 of the 10. Tomorrow afternoon, I might be at a 4. I'd love to hear it. I don't know. Again, that's just me projecting out on what I would hope to hear. I'd love to hear what he has to say. Because maybe, Travis, he's been through this enough, dude. You know this too. That familiarity thing. He's been through it enough that it's possible he would say, my 2 minutes is over. I'm thinking about dinner.
Yeah. I got to take kids to a T-ball game.
Yeah. I got this thing happening in my life. My dad is not doing well. Whatever. I got other stuff. I was lucky to. I don't even remember my chip on 16. I don't know. It'd be interesting to hear. I'm glad he was that vulnerable and open and honest, and I respect that a hell of a lot more than the consumed by sport thing that a lot of people think you have to do and have to be. The Williams sisters, Tiger Woods, Nick Saban. We look at these people and we go, yeah, that's success. No, that's consumption. They're fantastic. They've been incredibly successful in their fields. I love Serena. Serena seems like she's figured it out here.
Unfortunately, you can preach this, but what everybody comes to this is time. The older you get, the more you figure it out, right? And that is, I sit here on the verge of being a grandfather, and you go, oh man, you remember all these things. You're like, man, I screwed up here, I screwed up here, I screwed up here, and you're like, the only way you can do it is learn from it, right? And so Scotty Scheffler is lucky enough that he has. I mean, how many wins does he have? Numerous wins, and so his acceleration of learning has been a much faster rate. But he's reached the point where, like, okay, I've done all this, and it's not filling my bucket, or it fills my bucket when I'm there, but I'm starting to realize there's other things out there that fill my bucket.
Dude, what a great point, Travis. It's all perspective. I wonder how other golfers, I wonder how a Ricky Fowler hears this. A guy that maybe, he's had some success, didn't quite reach those things that Scotty Scheffler has reached to. Maybe he hears this and goes, I certainly felt fulfilled when I won. I don't know.
You remember when Rory, when he won the Masters, he took time off, and people were like, what are you doing? Well,
enjoying
it. He enjoyed it. But Rory's a little bit older, right? And you go, you just won. You're not going to get right back on the course and get on the horse and ride it again. No, I'm going to go enjoy this for a little bit. Take some time off.
How old is Scotty Scheffler?
29, I think.
29 years old. Oh, we share the same birthday.
Look at you.
He was born the year I graduated high school.
Ross, you're old.
What have I done with my life?
You're fulfilled. Your bucket's full. You're happy.
He was born the year I graduated.
It's okay.
I remember the day that Scotty Scheffler was born. That's weird.
You remember the day? Do you remember what you were doing on your birthday?
That would have been my 18th birthday.
Wow.
Yeah. Camping at Yellowbanks with my buddies.
See, you remember it vividly.
I do.
Little did you know that Scotty Scheffler came into the world.
I felt it. You
could feel it. It's like divine intervention. You're like, oh, guys, I think Scotty Scheffler was just born. You're not going to believe this.
Yeah, I think that was a bug bite. And they were like, no, a Masters champion was born. Like, oh.
Oh, man.
I loved it. If you haven't had a chance to watch it, it's worth the 5 minutes of seeing him give his, just flow.
And back to what started this conversation, I mean, don't you think the PGA Tour is screwing itself by not letting this guy?
I do think, Travis, the conversation within that office had to have been that slippery slope thing. Like, if we let this guy do this for this one event, what does that mean? But I think that the right thing to do was to give special exemption and tell all of your members, guys, this is a different deal. There's a bit of a Caitlyn Clark situation happening here. We're going to change the rules a little bit for this one guy.
He may not even make the cut.
Probably won't. In fact, go out there and kick his ass so that they see how great you are.
Yes. Hey, I didn't know this, but Indiana, I want to get this in. Indiana University is going to have a mascot this year. They're bringing back Hoosier the Bison. Did you know that? I know we always ask what a Hoosier was. I still don't know what a Hoosier was, but they haven't had a mascot for like Hoosier the Bison was discontinued in 1970, and they didn't have. And here's what hurt. The release said, Hoosier the Bison hasn't been around for nearly 60 years. And they discontinued it in 1970. I'm like, hey, that was 55 years ago. It's not 60 because I was born in 70. So I'm like, don't be calling me a 60-year-old. But they're bringing. They had like a campaign from the student senate, like, we need a mascot. They're bringing back the Bison.
What?
The Bison actually has roots in Indiana. It's on the state seal. I know you can roll your eyes.
I did. If you didn't hear it, I rolled my eyes.
He rolled his eyes.
Yeah. And by the way, when they put that out, they rolled their eyes too.
So now when you go watch the Hoosiers play, Hoosier the Bison is going to be part of the festivities. The Hawks got Herky. Michigan State has Sparty.
So wait, now is this? I've got questions now since you brought it up. Is it a live mascot?
No, no. It is a costumed mascot. Back in the old days, they had a live bison, and then they went to a costumed bison. Then they discontinued bison. They're coming back with something that can be at game days. You have Ralphie at Colorado, right? The buffalo,
which, by the way, is a real animal.
Yes,
that has a fake name. This is a fake animal with a real name.
Yeah, Hoosier.
Bison. Hoosier's the name of a person from Indiana and the school, right? It's not. It's Herky the Hawkeye,
and it's Hoosier the Bison.
So now the team is named the same thing as the mascot.
Yeah.
This is getting more confusing the more you talk about it. Do you have a picture of it by chance?
I don't.
Hoosier the Bison. By the way, Hoosier, as Charlie pointed out in the chat, is just a name for somebody from Indiana, is what it is. And the exact origins of Hoosier are debated, but several theories exist. One theory suggests it comes from a dialect term used by Southern immigrants to Indiana. All right, let's look up Hoosier the Bison and see what this stupid thing is going to look like.
It's picture a herky that looks like a bison with a stuffed animal.
I even doing an image search of it, I just see drawings of it.
Yeah, in the Indiana release, they had a picture of it. I just don't have it on me, but they're going to be in a costume. Just look at it that way. They're going to be in a costume.
Cool.
There you go. So when you watch the Hawks play Indiana this year, go out and look for
Hoosier the Bison.
Hoosier the Bison. That simple. Got big plans today?
Golfing, Betty.
You're golfing?
Dude, I am.
You golf so much. Everybody thinks I live the life. I've golfed like twice this year, and I belong to a club. You live the banker's life. You really do. The real estate agent's life. Hope you enjoyed the show today. It's going to be up live all day long at therushradio.com or on the Rush Radio app or the TuneIn app. You can also download the podcast at your favorite podcast location, Spotify, iHeartRadio, or iHeartMedia. That's still our number one platform, which is incredible. It's actually kind of funny. We'll be back tomorrow at 6 a.m., and Bruno's going to be joining us tomorrow on the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.
This July, splash into savings at Willis Chevrolet of Granger, where the deals are heating up and the prices are cooling down. Right now, get 0% for 36 months on the rugged and reliable Silverado 1500. Looking for a midsize truck? Drive off in a new Colorado with lease payments starting at just $399 a month. Head to Willis Chevrolet of Granger today or visit us online at willischevy.com and make a splash with your next ride.
Body Armor. Real hydration with electrolytes. No artificial dyes and coconut water. Choose better. Body Armor.
With over 260 beers on tap, El Bait Shop isn't just another craft beer bar. It's the best. Beer lovers know. El Bait Shop, 200 Southwest 2nd, Des Moines.
There's a new spin on casual dining near Drake University. Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers. Craveable faves, flatbreads, delicious burgers, frozen cocktails, and a crazy cool vibe. Get to Lucky Horse Beer and Burgers today.
Are you thinking about buying a home this year? Start by getting pre-approved with Gary Presnall at Northwest Bank in Des Moines to see how much you can qualify for and what loan programs meet your needs. Gary can get you pre-approved in 30 minutes or less with a pre-approval letter to you. Gary offers first-time home buyers programs, VA loans along with FHA, IFA, and conventional loans. Call Gary at 515-975-6767 or find his profile at nw.bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, I'm Sean McFarland, Service Manager here at Mini of Des Moines. July is here and so is the hot summer heat. Now is the best time to get your Mini in to make sure it and your air conditioning is ready for your motoring adventures this summer. Visit us online at miniofdesmoines.com or give us a call to schedule your appointment.
Bread is made from scratch, freshly baked with locally sourced ingredients and love. At Big Sky Bakery, we take great pride in our delicious products. We know you'll enjoy them almost as much as we enjoy baking.
Every business has priorities, and Priority One Heating and Cooling is no different. As a service provider, we prioritize quality air conditioners and furnaces that will keep your home at your comfort level year-round. As a small business, we prioritize doing things the right way and treating people fairly. As a truly local business, we prioritize our community. As a veteran-owned business, we prioritize duty and commitment. For big business service with local value, trust your home to the place where you are always Priority One.
Back to the rush. Strong opinions, weak filters, and just enough sense to stay on the air. It's the Rush Radio Show, powered by Willis Automotive.